Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to today's video. For today's look, I have the most basic fall look. I was trying to think of the word, and I know I already have a fall look up on my channel, but fall looks are just my favorite. Like, I love the oranges and the burgundies and the browns and, you know, the dark lips. Like, I am a fall and winter whore. So you will be seeing a lot of deeper and darker eye looks here on my channel as, you know, the season goes on. Anyways, if you are interested and you want to see how you could recreate this look at home, using either whatever products you have around or anything like that, basically what I just meant, then just keep on watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you exit the video. I say this at the end, I don't know why I'm saying this, but let's just get into the tutorial. It's been a long morning. I've been up forever already. So it's only 2 p.m. but I've been up for a while recording this look, and then I had to stop recording, and then I got, just keep on watching basically is what I'm trying to say. So I went ahead and did my eyebrows off camera just to save a little bit of time, so we're just going to jump right into the eye look. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and prime my eyelids using the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear concealer in the shade 360 Cashmere. Just going to apply that. I'm just going to keep blending this out. Get the inner corner of the eye. Once all that is blended out, I'm going to go ahead and take my first eyeshadow palette. We are working with a few eyeshadow palettes just because not every eyeshadow I'm using is in one palette itself. So you don't specifically need these eyeshadows. They are on the affordable side and they are very easily dupable, so don't worry if you don't have any of these eyeshadow palettes. But the first eyeshadow I'm gonna take is this orange one from the 35O palette from the brand Rumio. It's broken, so, and I did get this eyeshadow palette off of Amazon, so it is the 35O by Morphe palette dupe, I want to say. So if you have the 35O, just go ahead and take this eyeshadow, and we're going to apply that all over the crease with a fluffy shader brush. I am taking a Sonia Kashuk brush. These are limited edition, so I don't think you'll be able to find it anymore, but it is a small dent eyeshadow brush, a blending eyeshadow brush. So I'm just gonna blend out any creasing, and I'm gonna go ahead and start tapping this into the crease like so, all the way into the inner corner of the eye. And I am gonna extend it out a little bit, like on this side, but I'm not gonna extend it out like a wing. I just want to add some color to this side on the outer corner of the eye. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more and start applying it. The next color we are using is going to be a yellow, and I'm taking the yellow from the Artist palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I am taking the shade Fresh, which is just this yellow one right here. It is my favorite yellow, so that's what I like to use. I'm gonna take a smaller blending brush, dip in that color, and slowly start to diffuse the outer corners of the orange. You don't have to use this yellow in particular. You could go ahead and grab any yellow you have from any other eyeshadow palette, but this is the only palette with a good not mustard yellow, so I'm just gonna blend this out. The next eyeshadow I'm gonna take from this Rumio palette is this shade right here, this one. So just in case you have the 35O Morphe palette, it's this brown right here, and I believe it has a little bit of shimmer in it because I was looking at my eyeshadow and it looks kind of glittery, unless it's just me. But I'm gonna take this on a small packing brush and I'm just gonna start packing it onto the lid. And I'm gonna stop about right before I hit my actual crease, because I'm gonna take a smaller brush and start blending that out. So for now I'm just packing on this shade. I am now going to take this chocolate brown, I believe it's the darkest brown in this palette, on the same brush, and I'm gonna pick some up and go right on top of that other color we just applied. And the reason why I didn't go directly in with the brown shade is because I wanted the chocolate brown to stick and not look patchy. Sorry if my voice keeps going in and out. But by adding another shade right under it, it's gonna even out that base that we applied, so the shadows won't look patchy on top. So it's always best to, even though it is tedious, it is always best to go in with another shade, especially darker shades. So that's the reason why I'm adding a shade on top of another shade. So I'm taking a smaller brush like this one. Once again, this is a Sonia Kashuk brush, and I know her brushes in her collections are limited edition, but just try to get a small pencil brush like this. Pick up that dark chocolate color. Oh, there's an eye butter. Oh, I hate those. And I'm just gonna go and start blending this out onto the crease and onto that orange shade. You could bring this up as high as you want. And since I have hooded eyelids, I like to go pretty high up, but it just depends on your eye shape. I've told you guys this countless of times on my channel here. If you see that this outer corner isn't as blended as this other eye, let me see. It's because I don't know what it is. No matter what base I use, this side of my eye right here, the eyeshadows just won't blend out. I spent about 20 minutes just trying to get it to blend out, but the more I blend, the more product gets removed. So I just like to blend it out as well as I can, and then I just leave it. So like I said, I'm not sure if it's just my eye, if it's the eyeshadow base, but I've tried tons of eyeshadow bases, and with whatever eyeshadow base I use, this always ends up happening. So just in case you're new to my channel and you're like, girl, you're not blending out correctly, it's because this eye only and this eye only, it's what happens to me. So that's the reason why this eye will always look a little bit more rough than this eye. But anyways, we're just gonna finish off this eye so we can move on to the face and move forward. I'm gonna take the Jaclyn Hill palette one more time, and I'm gonna take a flat shader brush and go into this burgundy shade right here. Tap off the excess, and I'm gonna go ahead and just lay this on top of the chocolate brown shade that we applied. And it's okay if what was I gonna say? It's okay if it gets up to the crease, because the colors will just end up blending together. And we are gonna add a little bit of this shade on the crease. I could have just gone in directly with this burgundy shade, but I didn't want it to be so red, so that's why I'm blending it in. I didn't pick up any extra product. I'm just taking whatever is left on this brush and blending out the edges a little bit more. Picking up more of the burgundy shade and tapping it on. Now to kind of even out the skin, I am going to go ahead and add my foundation, and for that I am using the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation in the shade 140, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply this and blend everything out using a Wet n Wild beauty sponge. And I low-key find it so hard to do my foundation after I do my eyes, because I'm a person who does my foundation, concealer, and contour and everything way before I do my eyes. But since I was using brighter and dark eyeshadows, I wanted to make sure that it didn't mess with my makeup, with my base makeup. I concealed my under eye darkness with the Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer with Hydro Collagen, and this is in the shade Neutral Medium, and this is from It Cosmetics, and I like using this to color correct because it does have a peachy undertone, and that cancels out any darkness under my eyes. So to conceal, I am now going to take the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation and concealer in the shade MG2, and I really like to use this as a concealer more than I do a foundation. It does have like a little doe foot applicator, and if you want to use it as a foundation, it has a pump as well. So that's pretty cool that they were able to do that, or that they did that. And I just apply this right under my eyes. A little bit on the chin. I should zoom you guys out. I'll do that in a little bit. And on the forehead. And what I like about this foundation is no matter how many times or how many layers, I usually do 2 layers under the eyes just to fully conceal everything. No matter how many layers I apply, it does not look cakey or heavy. It doesn't feel heavy at all. So I just let it sit under the eyes for a little bit while I blend out the rest. Okay, I zoomed you guys out, so now I am just gonna blend it out under the eyes. I don't like to fully blend it out. I like to blend it out and let it sit once again, because that will warm up the product and it will give you more of a full coverage. And I'm trying to like give myself a clean, sharp edge at the outer corner of the eye, but not make it seem like I added a piece of tape on there and then just did my eyeshadow. So I like to take my time around the eyes. I am now going to take a dry beauty sponge and dip it into my setting powder, which is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade 05 Fair. And the reason why I take it on a dry beauty sponge as opposed to a wet one is because I feel like if you go in with a wet beauty sponge, it's just gonna add more moisture into the powder. And I realized that adding that, since I do have a lot of creasing under my eyes, I noticed that I get patches that look very dry under the eye, if that makes sense. So, and adding more moisture in with the powder and mixing water with the concealer, it makes it look very patchy and more dry than it already is. So if you're having that problem, try taking a dry beauty sponge or a powder puff and setting it that way. Alright, I am back, and I mean, obviously to you guys it's probably like a couple seconds. Hold on, let me fix my light. But we had a plumbing issue again, and I finished my eyes off, like the bottom lash line off camera, because I feel like I'm never able to, there's like a fuzzy, record that part on camera, but what I did is just added black eyeliner to the lash line, and then I went in with the burgundy shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette and then just tried to smoke it out as best as I could. Let me zoom you out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Okay, so now that the eyes are done, I am going to go ahead and bring back a little bit more color into my face, and I'm going to go ahead and bronze first. So the thing first thing I'm going to do is go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place matte powder in the shade Shell Beige, and use this. It looks very light in the pan, but it's a perfect bronzer shade for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and bronze up the face, the cheekbones, the temples, which are right here in this area where I'm applying the powder, and then the jawline. To deepen up my contour or bronzing, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal True Match powder in the shade C8, and I like using a powder on top of a powder just because it blends out better, if that makes sense. So I just take this right at the edge of the cheekbone, like in this area. I will bring it out a little bit, but I like to stick the darkest powder right at the edge of it, so it gives it more of an illusion of a natural cheekbone. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? I'm so full right now. I'm like, the brush almost fell. For the blush, I'm gonna go in using the Wet n Wild blush in the shade Pearlescent Pink. So I'm gonna add that off camera, and then I'll be back for the highlighter because I've been using the same highlighter for like the past 10 videos. So I'm gonna look for a new highlighter that I want to try out or wear again, and I'll be back for that. For my highlight, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in that glow, I believe. Yeah. And I'm going to go in with the shade Bubbly. Just down here. And this is a very old palette, so I'm not sure if it's going to show up correctly. Swirl it. I've had this for years. I believe this was when they first launched this, so however long ago that was is how long I've had this palette for, but it's still very pretty. Then I just take whatever's left on the brush, put it on my chin, cupid's bow, and forehead. I don't know why I stopped using this. It's very pretty and very glowy. For the lips today, I'm gonna keep it pretty neutral. So you guys know I'm gonna go in with a nude liquid lipstick, and this is from Too Faced. This is the Melted Matte liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Cool Girl. This is my everyday shade, so don't be surprised when I use this. So I'm just gonna apply this onto the lips and see how that looks. I'm thinking of a dark lip as well, so if I don't like how this looks, I will switch it out for a darker lip, but let's see how this one turns out first. I feel like this shade dried down a little too dark for my liking, so what I'm gonna do is take it off before it fully dries down and go in with a dark lip, because this one, let's add more highlight to keep it flow. The shade I'm gonna go in with now is the Sephora cream lip stain in the shade number 26, and this is more of like a dark brown, reddish brown I should say, so hopefully it looks good with the eye look. Okay, I think I like the darker lips a little bit better. But this is what the completed look looks like. My voice is on a whole different level today. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Hopefully, if you have any questions on the looks or products, go ahead and check the description box below, and I will list them there for you guys. I will have them listed there for you guys. And sorry, and if you have any other questions, any video requests, leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Without making this outro very long and useless, I will talk to you guys in the next video.